Gary King. He was listening last week and he said, "Love listening to the election talk. Lets me know Canada and the US have leaders that shouldn't be there. Do you think Kennedy will steal votes to give Trump the office again?"
No.
So you teased, I think we were just on the phone, I don't think it was on the air, that you were going to fly a gigantic
No,
Kennedy
I was going to put a banner across the top of my,
house.
yeah, on top, what is that, the Widow's Walk or whatever that thing's called. 37-foot long deck on top of my house. I was going to put a,
Just to worry your local community a little bit,
yeah, just to,
where things are going.
for everybody that's got a worm in their head.
There was a lot of talk about the Supreme Court ruling. You got to call it a ruling, right? Because nobody's ever ruled on it before. It's a ruling by the justices for the first time, but a restatement, I think, of what we all knew to be true, and in that I'll steal your words from this week. If a president, in the course of their obligation, their job, has to drop a bomb on a nation, they can't be held accountable
Yeah,
for murder or attempted murder.
and I actually watched some coverage today, and some legal people went into it, and it's like anything else in our in society. You like they use the whole SEAL Team 6. SEAL Team 6 knows they're all sworn to uphold the Constitution. That's what you do when you raise your hand. You uphold it. You raise your hand to protect the Constitution of the United States. So if it's unconstitutional what you're doing, then they're not going to. But then they were saying, yeah, but then if the president pardons them before they do the act, then they can't be held liable.
Mm.
And I'm thinking, don't have this conversation with me right now because I'm rewatching Homeland
Oh,
just for anything. So it's just like, I don't know. If you're gonna worry about, I just can't worry about everything.
well, the largest obstacle in this ruling is that now an administration can cite that as a defense, and it would have to be heard again and again. And let's say if you're under 97 counts of felony charges, that's a lot of probing and waiting for decisions to be rendered as to what was in the official
Right.
call of duty and what wasn't. Now,
Well,
I don't think
definitely.
anyone's stupid enough to think hush money to a porn star. They're trying it. They're violent, but I
Well,
think
that,
everyone can agree to.
and my whole thing is, if I was found guilty of those charges, and somebody told me that my assets because of my whatever the hell the name of his social media fucking platform is.
Oh yeah, the new one. I forget what it's called. Truth
Yeah,
something.
truth. Yeah. I mean I mean there's actually some liquidity into that. If you can pay for the legal fees, why not get a run to see if you can't get some of that expunged or tie it up or
So that's what I'm saying. These will be delay. These will be delay
yeah.
tactics, if nothing else. The latest New York Times poll I saw. You and I saw two different polls though. Oh, actually, no. I'm going to cite a different New York Times poll. Republicans were asked, should Joe Biden stay in the race? Before the debate, 21% of Republicans said yes. After the debate,
53.
28%, no, 28% said, yeah, that's your guy.
Yeah.
That's the data he needs to look at. Oh,
The
this
one
site.
thing is that
Truth Social is the site, by the way.
the war chest that Biden has can only go to Kamala.
See, this is another thing that when we talked about in a hypothetical way
Right.
last week about replacing him and what would have to happen and the electorates and all that shit, fundraising, we didn't really talk about, but that's the
No,
big one.
that's huge.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, it's Trump hasn't said a word since the debate because I still think that there's At this point right now, just let's not fire up too much shit to go the opposite way because we don't know exactly how we poll against Kamala or not. Let's just keep it on Biden.
I just, it's a risk either way. And I don't think you can go wrong. I mean, if he wants to stay, you'd look so much worse forcing him out. There'd be a whole insensitivity argument from a segment of the Democrats. And if you do try and shove someone else in, there's going to be chaos like we talked about with
Yeah,
fundraising
but I think
and stuff like that.
like some of the arguments that have come out of this is Biden gets a physical once a year. Like, I'm sorry, man, but when Reagan was up there against Mondale, he was 77. And towards the end, there was a lot of people that said that Reagan was not in charge of his faculties.
When he was in the White House, yeah,
Yeah.
that seems to be the
But
the
at the
case.
same time, there are checks and balances, and it's not. People just need to realize he's not on the sideline with the playbook calling the shots. Once he, I think after Thursday, I think that the offensive and the defensive coordinator have taken over. It just
They're calling the plays directly
Yeah.
into the to the headset.
yeah.
field.
Joe, go up in the go up high and just yell shit out of that fucking bullhorn.
There's a lot to be said for having to choose someone whose policy is sound and that has competent people around them, should they have difficulty, in being able to execute that policy. And I don't know. I guess that's what they're counting on. It was just so horrible. Fucking Thursday was so horrible last week.
It's and the thing is,
Hard
it's like
to watch.
he hasn't. Biden has not sat down. He did the Friday in North Carolina where he
Screaming at the pulpit. Yeah.
did a fucking 6-inch gagger and fucking ha. But he should have sat down with a couple of different people, and you got to go off page, off prompter, and you've got to have people. You've got to show people that you can field live questions because you didn't. And then I watched, and where the CNN people got a ton of shit. Tepper and Dana Bosch got a ton of shit over not fact checking. Fucking Dana Bash, when you turn it around, have you seen any of those clips where she's going, fucking look at him? She's trying to get him to not just be. Did you see any of that?
No, I saw the after. I did see the shot after
When
where he was led down the
when
stairs.
Biden's wife. No, there's actual shots of them trying to get him like, and this is what I don't understand. So, from what I took in, that you could have a pencil, a paper. You could have
Had that. He had the pencil. We saw the pencil.
Yeah, we definitely had the. But
Definitely had the
why wouldn't you? Okay, if it's the movie Memento, are you not writing fucking notes to your fucking self?
I did see a few times that something was.
But I would have done that the whole time. At least it would have had the appearance that I was of cognitive function.
Not zoning. Yeah.
Yeah, instead of just fucking.
Yeah. Bobby Alejandro, whoever told Biden to get on stage and debate should be charged with elderly abuse. That was bad. CNN didn't show how he needed the help off stage. Entertaining content by both Trump and Biden. I wouldn't even call it a debate. Yeah, there wasn't much debate. I agree with you.